Hello everyone, welcome back to Glitz and Glitter. Today I'm going to do this mold. It was a gift in Happy Mail recently and I'm sorry I haven't gotten to it yet, but when I got these flowers in from Resiners, which I didn't even realize they sold flowers, I thought this was the perfect opportunity so I didn't have to do a geode style one like everybody else does. I'm sure there's people that have done flowers, don't get me wrong, but it's my turn to do flowers. So this package came with these 4 packages inside of it and a pair of tweezers. I think I'm going to go with these 3, one for each one, and if I have to open another one, I will. And instead of crushed crystal, you guys, you'll be proud of me, I'm not using crushed crystal. I'm using my rainbow shimmer because these are all different colors and I want the shimmer to shine all rainbowy. So what I'm going to do, these hold 24 ounces total if they're completely full. So we want to do 2 layers and we're going to put the flowers in the first layer with the shimmer. Let that cure. I'm going to use 4-hour fast cure so I don't have to wait because I'm at a different location and I don't have a heat mat underneath these. So I have to be patient today, at least till they're tacky anyway. I'm not going to wait till they're fully cured. I'm just going to wait until my flowers won't move anymore. So maybe 2 hours. We'll see. I don't know. I'll time it and let you know. So we're going to do like 1 package per thing and then share as I need to, just so we have a variety. Well, maybe I'll just share no matter what. That way they don't have like a certain color per tier. I think that's a better answer to that question. So let me mix up 12 ounces and I haven't picked a back color yet, but I'm thinking blue for a sky, like a really light blue. I think that would be really pretty. If I can achieve like a really pastel blue, I'll have to check my blues and see what I have. That's what I'm going for. I think I just made the decision. Getting there is a different story. Let me grab 12 ounces of resin and I'll meet you on the flip side. As I have this in the vacuum chamber, I completely changed my mind on the way I'm going to do this. I was going to pour clear down, work upside down with my flowers, and then pour the blue on the back. And then the other side would be the reveal. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to work face up. It works for me better that way. Let me grab my spoon. So I can see the flowers, because I'm not great at flowers. And I can dome the top and I won't have to top coat, because I'm going to have to top coat those if I do it upside down. I could tell by the molds because there's little nicks and scratches in them, and that's just the way they come. I mean, it's nobody's fault. When you buy manufactured molds, they come that way. So I picked out this blue. It's called C, and I will link it for you if you like the color. And I think I might lighten it up with some white. Now, because I already wasted a few minutes in my vacuum chamber while I changed my mind, well, I probably have enough time to do it again. I was going to say I'll use my heat gun to get bubbles out, but I think I'm just going to take the chance. I'll just split it in 2. That way it's not so deep, and that is, like I said, a little darker than I want. I want a really light white. So I'm going to go ahead and add some pearl white to this and lighten it up a little bit, because I want the focus to be the flowers, but I still want the sky in the background. I might even need some more. You can even use pigment paste, I think, if you wanted to. Let me just see what I have. I really want the shimmer though, because I think that rainbow shimmer glitter will look pretty over this too. I'm going to add a little more white. Another scoop. And then I will split it in half, vacuum chamber it, and pour it. And then we can place our flowers facing up. And once those are stuck on there and they're not going to float, then we're good to go to pour the second layer. It's not lightening up as much as I want it to. Let me try a little pigment paste. I'm going to try it. I'm going to use my Ocean White. I couldn't find any lighter color than I had in blue. So this is my solution. That should really lighten it up, but I still want that shimmer shine, so I hope that didn't get rid of it. That's better. Much better. Just need to mix it well, or it's going to show up on your final piece, although we'll have flowers and I could probably cover it, but you know what I mean. All right, I'm just going to mix or split it up in half so it doesn't bubble over in my vacuum chamber. It's kind of full in this cup. Get these bubbles out and we're gonna rock and roll. I'm just going to use my alcohol spray. It says stop any bubbles from forming around these edges, and I'm going to try to go no more than halfway. Now make sure you have a level surface when you do this. And just get it to the edges, and then I'll take a silicone tool, go around the edge just to make sure. But it should be good. This is our bottom, so even if there was a bubble, I highly doubt you're going to notice it. And I think I'm going to let this sit, I don't know, 10-15 minutes. Just to let it get sticky, because I don't want my flowers sinking into there at all. And then I'll come back and put the flowers down. Hopefully the blue was a good decision. I don't really want to hide my flowers. Let me just scrape my cup out. And then I have one more cup of it here. This kit came with the hardware too, so you don't have to buy the hardware separately for the cupcake stand or whatever you want to use it for. It doesn't have to be cupcakes, cookies, or whatever you're going to put on there. It's got the stand for it, but you can buy them separate. I have several that I have purchased separately because I've made it more than one time. They only give you one. Let's see which one needs more. A little bit here and a little bit here. We can use some more over here. And, oh, no, I can't do that. I was going to say, if you wanted swirl marks in your mica powder, come back when it's really, really tacky where it won't move anymore. But at that point, I'll already have my flowers in there, so that's not going to work. So we're going to be stuck with whatever pattern it decides to give us, which is no big deal because most of it will be flowers. I'm just going to re-scrape my other cup so I don't waste anything. One more little tiny bit. And then I'm going to spray it with, this is 99% alcohol. I've got all my flowers out ready to go. And I'm going to be putting like greens down first and then the flowers on top since we're working the way we're looking at it. So I'm just going to run this all the way around, hopefully dislodge any bubbles that might be on those 90-degree sides. Although I can't tell if I am or not. I'm just hoping that they're going to be gone. And then let me move some stuff out of your way. I usually always make these geode style, so I really wanted to do something different. Not that I've made a bunch of them, but I have made a few. All right, I'm gonna come back when it's really tacky, and I'll let you know how long that was. If you missed my video on the Resiners air purifier, it just went off. It's on auto, so it goes off when your VOCs are really high. The VOCs in my room are right now the highest that this machine goes to from mixing the resin, and this turns red. So when it gets those VOCs out of my room, oops, I just turned it off, then it will turn green again. And it usually takes 10 to 15 minutes. So it's best to just walk out of your room until they're all gone and the auto button just goes back to normal. I'm at the 40-minute mark and it's still pretty, it's not tacky enough really. I put one in and it's not sinking below it, but I'd rather it be a little bit stickier. So I went through with my tool and I swirled it, and I kind of like it. Whether it stays there or not, I don't know, but now I need to do all of them because I kind of think it looks like clouds in the sky. So I'm gonna wait another 20-30 minutes and then maybe pour down or put down my flowers. That air purifier, it must have been really high in here because it took 30 minutes for that to go off. So I came back in and I'm now working back in here, and it's still on the auto setting, which means it will go off when it detects anything, but I'm not really, if I spray alcohol, it'll detect it and it'll start up again. But when I say off, I don't mean off. And when I say off, I mean start up. It registers the VOCs in your rooms, and it goes to the highest level to get them out the fastest if you have it on the auto setting. Otherwise, you can set it on any setting you want, which I try to remember to do so it's not going on high while I'm in the middle of filming. So I'm just stirring these all around. This one's a little stickier. And I think I'm gonna wait a little while and make sure that these swirls stay before I start placing things down, because I think that's really pretty. And that one hasn't really moved much. So if it doesn't move in the next 10 to 15 minutes, I'm just gonna go ahead and start putting my flowers down. I did incorporate a few bubbles, but that's okay, we'll pop them. I don't want to spray alcohol on it now because I don't want it to start the reaction in my mica powders again. So I'll just go through and pop them like that, although you're not going to see them anyways once we pour the clear coat on there. It's been another 10 minutes and my pattern hasn't moved. And I tried another flower and it looks pretty good. So I'm just going to go around. And what I really planned was to go all the way around with greens and then flowers, but I don't have enough greens. And they're all different, so I didn't really want to do that. So I'm just gonna do like a little bit of everything on each one of them and hope it works out, because I'm definitely not any florist. I'd love to do flowers. Well, I would love to do flowers if I knew how. And I know some of you say, oh, they always look nice, but they don't always look nice. Let's see. I'm just gonna, so I think there's gonna be like a definite side, you know what I mean? Like this will be the front and that will be the back, and then when you put them on the cake stand, you'd have to turn it that way. I pulled out all the ones with greens or the ones with these little tiny flowers, and I'm snapping off the extra that I don't want. But I think I want a little bit of everything in each one so they know that it's a set. And if you guys start making these, I was looking these up to see if I could add anything else, which I didn't see a lot with flowers in them. You guys, these things are selling for 90 bucks. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't think I was gonna charge that much on my eBay store. But if I did, that would include shipping, and these people don't include shipping. So yeah, these things go for a lot of money. I don't really check those things, but if you're selling, I think you should check those places to see what people are getting, because a lot of questions are asked about what should you charge. I would say start checking. That's not going to fit there. I would say start checking Etsy and eBay and see what people are selling things for, so you kind of know and can go off of that to know what you should sell them for, although every location is different. I don't know what I'm doing, you guys. I'm just kind of winging it here. I want to make sure that there's greens underneath my flowers. Oh, here's another yellow one. So I'll probably do a few with you. And this is going to take me a little while, so I'm not going to make you watch in real time for the whole thing, but I'll do a little bit with you before I fast forward you. I don't know. I don't know how to do these. It's not like watery, but it's sticky enough that they're not going to go down. These you can just break off too. You don't have to keep them as one piece. Just break off the little, whatever you call them. I don't know anything about plants. I know that I always forget to water them, and they never like that very much. That's about all I know with plants. I know the phone number to the guy who takes care of my yard for me. That's the other thing I know about plants. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know if I like this. So I may be covering a lot of this up with some flowers here. Or maybe I'm doing too much on the bottom. I don't know. I wish I had some to look at for inspiration, but I couldn't find any. That's what I was doing while I was waiting for this to get tacky. I do know that odd numbers look the best. That's the same in cake decorating. You want some odd numbers, although I don't know. Let me see what do I have. All right, I'm just going to start placing flowers because I'm not feeling great about, and I can't get them off at this point. And I have a really, really big one here. And I'm wondering if it's going to disappear because it's so light. It's like really, really pale yellow. I hope it doesn't disappear under the blue. And it could very well do that. It's probably going to disappear underneath the clear. So I think I'm just going to put a few next to it so that doesn't happen. So I think when I get a yellow one in, I'm just going to do the same to each one so they're a little bit cohesive. Here's a pretty one. Oh, it's there now. I didn't really mean to do that. Let's see. Let's do a little daisy. Do I have another? I do. And what do we have? I like these too, but do we need any more of those is the question. Not yet. Let's do some pink. I have a few of these little things that I really like. These little white things. I can't remember what they're called. I'm sure you guys know. Are they Queen Anne or something like that? I think somebody told me a long time ago that's what they were called. I don't think I have another one though, which is fine. We'll do maybe that's what I'll do. I'll put some flowers on the bottom to cover kind of that section. Not the blue ones though, because you're not going to see them. we'll do some of these. Cover up some of that mess I made down there. And the problem is I don't know when less is more when it comes to flowers. We're going for springtime since that's what's happening right now. There's a little one. Let's use up my little yellows. I guess I could put these at the tops of the flowers, or the greens, I mean, and make it look like there's a reason for them instead of just greens. I think that's the key, is to make it look like there's a purpose. That's pretty. Let's do this one in here. A little bit of color. I think I'll use my little tiny ones down here. I guess 90 bucks isn't bad. I mean, think of it. You have to pay for the resin, you have to pay for the mold, you have to pay for all the flowers, and then you have to pay the commissions, whoever is selling it for you, whether it be Etsy or eBay. So I don't know. I don't think that's like crazy out of the ballpark range. Oh, look at that. That was in the resin. I'm glad I noticed that. And I just lost my flower. Where did it go? Did it go over here? Oh, it's right here. Let's see. Where do we want this one? We're going to put this one right there. Okay, so I lied. I'm just going to leave you on. If you don't want to watch it, just fast forward it. I'm not paying attention to the phone right now. I'm afraid to do the bluish ones because I don't think you're going to see them. Maybe I'll just put them all in. I don't know what that is. Anybody know what that is? I think this side goes up. We'll put that right there. But this one has teeny tiny little things. Oops. Well, it's going there now because when it's sticky, you're not getting it out. Little one there. Little one there. You know what? I'm going to put one in and see what happens. Oh, I guess you can see it. What's the heck? Why not put them in? If you don't see them, you don't see them later. It's all right. No big deal. I don't know. I always get nervous when I'm doing flowers because I feel like all you people who know how to do flowers are yelling at me like, no, there's rules. There probably is rules. However, I am being a rule breaker today. Let's put a little bit of these in each one. Kudos to all of you that dry your own flowers because I would not be doing that. First of all, I don't have flowers to dry. I'm going to cover some of this up. And I wouldn't have the patience for them to get done. And I'd probably be putting like undried flowers in my resin and then it would rot. Let's do a little more right here. And right here. I'm just going to stand back for a second and look. So they all have little spots I want filled in. Let's do do some little stuff here. This one can fit bigger ones. Just making sure my flowers are facing the right way up. Let's see. At this point, I'm just putting them in empty spots. There is zero rhyme or reason to what I'm doing. And praying that my little rainbow shimmer is gonna glam it up a little bit. Where does this one need to go? Little tiny one. Here's another little tiny one. Getting there. At least they're not sinking. So a good hour, probably, before I'm laying these down. I'm just gonna stand where you're looking and see what I see. I think that's pretty close to being it. I'm gonna put one there. As I say that, I'm like keep placing them. I can hear you all now. I swear I can hear you. Stop, Michelle. I can hear it. Totally can hear it. Okay. I heard you. All right, I'm stopping. So probably another hour. I'll let you know the time. I'm going to get all that cleaned up. Then we'll mix up some resin. And I need to put a little one right there. Sorry, y'all. I lied. It was just missing something. It was all lonely, that little spot. And probably when I turn the camera on, you're going to be like, wait a minute. That flower wasn't there when you left us. You're probably right. But that's okay. All right, be right back. Now that they're fully cured, I mixed up 14 because I wasn't sure and I didn't want to run low. What I did, I treat this shimmer, all of my shimmers, I treat like crushed crystal. You don't need that much. So I put in just as much as I do crushed crystal. And I don't know that you could see it in here, but it's definitely shimmering. And then I found these things. These two were just sent to me in some mail. This I made the other day, and I was thinking, should we embed one in each one, like these? I don't know, something different. It would fit. You could put your stuff around it. You can clean them because they're all cleanable. So I think I might embed them in the resin, but let me get them poured first, and then I will worry about it. Let me move everything out of the way. And I'm just going to dome them nicely. So you're not going to hear me because I will be eye level. Whoops. Now make sure you don't do this until they're fully cured, because if you pour your resin too slowly and it puddles and that mica powder is not cured, trust me on this, I learned the hard way. I did it on coasters and my resin was tacky, good for another coat, but it was mica powder. And I went ahead and I poured a puddle on each coaster, thinking, oh, I'll come back to it. Let me push one at a time to the edge, just like this, while the other ones were pooling and they weren't pushed to the edge yet. Well, when I pushed them to the edge, that's all the time it took. And it discolored, it made a ring in my mica powder that never ever went away. So I highly recommend, if you're using mica on the bottom like this, that you let it cure, fully cure. Let me do this one here. And then I'll check them all. And if we have extras, I will make something. But I was worried that every time I measure with water, I'm usually a little bit short. And I didn't want to be short. Oh, that looks so pretty, all sparkly. Hi, Mr. Glitz.
Ooh, they're so sparkly.
You heard me.
No, I see the sparkles. Yeah, I heard you.
Oh, they're domed perfect.
You want to add some more of this?
No.
You need a lot of this.
I just did. Okay. Now I do. Oh, I was going to put these in. Hang on. I think I'm going to try these in here. I hope it's not a mistake. This had a hook made of glass on the bottom. I just broke the hook off so he would sit flat. And since he's the biggest one, I'm gonna put him in there. And this way he will cure forever and they won't come off. This one I was just gonna stick in the branch to cure, and this one I was going to stick, there's a little bubble there. Grab my spray. Well, I don't want my spray. Never mind, they're domed. I don't want to spray them because... Oh, that's not sticking out. That is a piece of the flower. So I guess I should go around and make sure without damaging your petals, because you can damage your petals. And watch, because some air bubbles will come up too. And some of the bubbles actually look really cool. I wouldn't be hurt if there were bubbles on top of the flowers. This one too is sticking up. So I'll just keep checking these pieces until it's really sticky and they're not sticking up anymore. Now this flower is, I don't want to damage the flower. Oh, it's probably already stuck. I didn't notice that fold there. And I don't have anything else to cover it with. Not that I can think of right now. Oh, did you notice I kind of added a few little flowers? I took all those tiny ones like it was raining little flowers while you weren't looking. All right, we're gonna stick that just on the edge. And I actually painted that all around the edges with a metallic pink marker, and then I took it all off because I didn't like it. Okay, now I'm gonna babysit. I probably have the 2 ounces left over that I didn't really need. So I'm gonna go find something to do with that and see ya on Demold. A viewer had asked in a comment last week if when I have extras, if I would paint this Saya, this is the Saya W Mermaid, into some molds and then back it with a combination of black and white to see if there would be a difference. And I'm like, oh, well, that's an interesting thought. I never thought of doing that. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to paint a couple of these with a nice fluffy brush like some have suggested so I don't get streak marks. Hopefully it works for me, which it looks like it is because I don't see any streak marks. And I'll do the bird. I don't know, do I need another one? Maybe not. These are pretty big. This was also a gift in some Happy Mail. I'm just gonna go tap that out. Actually, I'm just gonna flip it over since I'm not gonna reuse that. Fix my bird right there. I just used pigment paste. I used Let's Resin, Ocean White, and black pigment paste. And the shimmer is in here too, but doesn't matter. How should I do this? I kind of want to see, we'll do half and half, like yin and yang. And maybe the next one I will marble just to see what the difference. So we'll do it definite black and definite white. But I didn't want to do this off camera where you guys didn't know what I was doing, and it's easier just to show you than to explain. And I guess I don't need to completely fill them up. It's just nice not to have to trim them. But I want some for my little bunny rabbit here. So let's take and do that. Because whatever hits first is what you're really gonna notice. So I don't know if this is gonna do anything or not, but hey, we're experimenting, right? I thought that was a brilliant question that I couldn't answer. It might actually just meld together and become gray. And then we'll know what gray looks like. At this point, it doesn't matter. It's what's hitting that silicone is what we're gonna see through. So I'm just gonna add it to it. Perfect amount for 2 of them. Just gonna add it to the bird. And then we'll let everything cure together and demold everything together. I'm gonna just use this little bit of white. These are pretty big molds. It would make a large keychain. I'm just gonna spray it with alcohol, pop bubbles, and see ya on the back side. Everything's cured. Are you ready to see these? Let's do the black and white first and see if there's a difference in color. Ready? You clearly see the black and the white, but I don't know. Well, yeah, this one's got more of the opalescent, I guess, or the greens and the blues, where this one is more opal. So there is a definite color difference when you fill it with green or black and white. So there is your answer. Pretty cool. So I wonder what this one looks like then that we marbled it. Oh, that's not too bad. I don't mind that one at all. I thought that was going to be a total nightmare, but that looks pretty cool. We might have to salvage that one and put a little eye or something on there. Not sure. I'm going to get them unmolded over here, and then I'll take you back to the table and we'll put it all together, because it's definitely not going to fit underneath my camera. Not that there's any reveal, but at least we'll get it together. I have a couple little pieces that do need to be trimmed off. Dripped over. My bird is stuck in there forever. It's no longer my bird now. It's getting moved off to a new home. Here's the back. You can see the swirl marks. So I'm going to trim that up. I'm just going to take a knife. And if I was thinking prior to pouring anything, I should have put a metallic paint pen, not metallic paint pen, a metallic mica powder along the inside edge of this, and it would have been embedded forever in this edge. I mean, we could do paint pen, but if this actually gets used, then they will have to probably like put it on. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not, like, it should be embedded forever. So I'm definitely not going to put the pen on, because if people want to use it, although this is not a food safe resin, so you will have to cover it with some kind of cling wrap or something, just so it's safe to put your food on there. You can always top coat your stuff with a food safe resin with nothing in it. Make sure you don't put any glitter or any pigments or any colorings in there. So that is definitely doable. However, if you want a video every day, I cannot do another day on this one, so I'm gonna have to put it together and move on till tomorrow. So I will get everything trimmed up and finished. But isn't that bird cute? Sitting on that little tree. All right, there's that one. And I will trim the rest off camera before I put it together. Let me get the medium one. And the same thing, I've got drip marks going over the edges. And the butterfly is there forever. What do you think? I guess it goes this way. So this one will go here, like that, on top of that one. Not too bad, not too bad. A couple bubbles did surface when I was not looking, unfortunately. They just pop up when they want to from those flowers. So yeah, there's a couple little bubbles there. Oh, there's one there too. All right, anyway, let's see this one. Oh, I'm gonna have to drill the hole out because I overfilled the hole in the middle. No big deal. It's mostly gone. I just probably need to take a knife to it. Yep, that's all it needed. Pop that right out. And there's the little frog that looks like he's swimming. It's definitely in there. Couple bubbles on this one. Gosh, I wish I was paying more attention while it was curing, but do you see the sparkle and shimmer in there? You may not. I see it everywhere. Beautiful rainbow shimmer. All right, let me get this trimmed up really nicely, and then we will take it over to the other table and get this put together. Little change of plans, because as I was trimming them, I realized how beautiful this would look with the silver edge. And I am not going to take the easy way out to get a video out. So I'm going to take another day, and I'm going to top coat all three of these with food safe resin, because that's the right thing to do when you make something like this and you want to use it for food. So I will top coat it with food safe resin, nothing in it, just the clear. And that will also seal in that paint pen, so we can leave the paint pen on and it'll look beautiful with the blue and the silver. So I'm back at my normal station. I have this little Windows level that I'm using. I'm not going to prop them up because they're freshly cured and I don't want them bending over jars, because generally I put them up. I'm going to take my chances. Everything's level. There is like a little, most of it has an edge. I should really tape up the back, but worst case scenario, I'll have to fix the backs, which is not a big deal. So I'm actually not going to put this together tonight for you. I am going to just mix up some resin. I'll put you in like a little fast forward, because you guys have seen me do this many, many, many times. It's the exact same thing. I'm just coating the tops and I'm going to leave them sit overnight. I'm using tabletop food grade resin, and I will link it in the description below. Let me get that ready. I'm not going to show the whole process. Like I said, I've done it 1,000 times, so I'm not going to take 10 minutes to do it, but you hand stir your tabletop and you cannot put it through the vacuum chamber. It doesn't work. It's just too thick and you will make more bubbles than you have. All I'm going to do on each of them is get a nice coat on here. Carefully, because I have not taped the back up or anything. So if it does drip over, I'm going to have a mess to clean up on the back. Then I'm just going to take a tool of your choice, and I'm going to just take it to the edges as close as I can go without going over, but making sure that the silver is up underneath this tabletop resin too. So it will be sealed in forever. And then I'm going to torch my bubbles out. I'm not going to spray alcohol on it because it could possibly break that surface tension and run over onto the table. And then when I wake up in the morning, it could be adhered to the paper that I have underneath everything. And that would not be good, because then I have to start sanding backs and starting all over. So if you do it, be very careful if you're not going to tape up your backs, or if you're not going to prop them up. Like I said, I normally prop them up because if they drip, then it won't adhere to the surface. But I'm not propping these ones up because they literally just cured, and they have the potential of, because they're so wide, of like folding over and then dripping anyway, and then curing in that position. And then I have to go through the trouble of heating it up and flattening it out, which is a little harder now that I put little three-dimensional figures on all of them. So yeah, that'll be a little difficult. So I'm just going to do this and get you in a quick fast forward, get all three done. You can't even see the one in the camera because I am back at the normal station right now. But I will show you with the torch how easy it is to get those bubbles out. And you might have to pop them maybe 2 times, maybe 3. Now the bubbles that are already in the piece from curing, I have a very sharp dotting tool here with me, and all I'm gonna do is force this resin into each bubble. And when it fills it up, you will no longer see it. You're gonna get the air pocket out of the bubble that you have, and this resin will go in there, and then they will disappear. And you will never see them again, as if they were never there. This is another reason why I wanted to get these done. I want it done right. If I'm gonna sell a piece, and you guys, you know, I don't want any complaints. I mean, I want you to know what you're getting, and I don't want you guys to have to be like, what was that? That was a bubble. It's sharp, and it's sharp, and it hit my finger, and you know, I don't want to do all that. So I would rather take the extra time and do everything properly than cut corners. Now, I did mix up 6 ounces. I really don't know. I always over mix my top coat. Whoops, wrong one. You generally don't need very much to top coat, but I had 3 of them, and it is what it is. If I have extras, I will put it in a shallow mold, because you cannot pour your top coat or your tabletop resin very deep at all, or it will heat too fast. It could flash cure. So I don't do like character molds with this kind of resin. It doesn't work. All right, I'm done talking. If I think of anything else that I think you need to know, I'll bring it back. But otherwise, enjoy the music for a few minutes. I got them all top coated, and I just wanted to show you how I fixed it. So this one was dripping. Obviously, I wiped it all up right there. So it was not completely level. So I propped it up, and I've basically been babysitting it and wiping to make sure there's no resin dripping over and attaching it. So there is a little space between my table and this piece now, so there's no way it could attach. The other two are doing perfectly fine. Nothing dripped over. Everything looks beautiful. I'm so happy I did the top coat and took the time to do it. It's only another 45 minutes of my life, and that's nothing compared to someone being happy with their piece. So I shall see you tomorrow. It is done and ready to put together. I did finish up the 2 extras. What do you think about those? I just put a row of rhinestones down that line so I didn't have to toss it. And I blinged out the bunny a little bit. Then I took the leftover. This is the Saya chrome powders. I will link them too. I just brushed them in the thing. I didn't finish them off, but those were the extra from the top coat. There was a couple drops that we had to fix on the bottom of this. We just took a razor knife and a heat gun, and we got them off. So it's the bottom, and before I put it together, I have these little rubber feet, I guess you would call them, and I always put them on the bottom so it doesn't have to sit on your counter like that. And then I'll put it together. However, I do not ship them in one piece. I will take it apart. So if one of you decides to get the demo off the eBay store, you will have to put it together. So make sure you pay attention. And then I'll put a few here in the center just to hold it stable while it's on your countertop. There. No big deal. Okay, here's the screw. And I use these little padded washers that they give you. Some people don't use them, but I do. Just so you don't have to ruin your the thing there. Some people don't like to see them, but it's okay. Then you're just going to take this, screw it down. Of course, I don't have the screwdriver with me to hold that in place. I'm not trying to make it tight, I just want to show you. And then the same thing, little pad, the middle one, and I'm going to make them all go the same way. Another little pad. This one here. This one came with the gold, and it actually looks good with the gold, so I'm going to go ahead and leave it gold. And then one more. And this one will go this way. And there you have it. It is finally complete. I'm not sure what kind of view you're getting, so I'll bring it down. There's the top, the little bird, and then you got the butterfly and the frog. All right, guys, that is today's video. Let me know what you think. I will see everyone tomorrow. Make sure you stick around for the pictures. I'm sure they will look better than this. All right, guys, you have a blessed day. Bye, everyone.